Welcome! Today, we're going to break down the OpenClaw AI agent framework, based on RedHub AI research. Our focus will be on explaining how this technology actually works and, just as important, why it represents such a significant development.
To really get a handle on AI agents, let's start with this core question. It's key because it helps us shift our thinking away from the kind of AI we might be used to, like a chatbot that just responds to what you type, and towards a totally new category of software that's all about execution.
So what exactly is an autonomous AI agent? Well, a RedHub AI analysis defines it by one critical trait: its ability to act. See, instead of just generating text, an agent connects its reasoning capabilities to real-world tools. We're talking about calling APIs, reading and writing files, or even kicking off complex workflows. And that's the fundamental difference here. It's what turns a simple AI output into actual AI execution.
All right, now let's get into the mechanics of how these agents actually operate. At the heart of it, an agent runs on a continuous cycle. You can think of it as an execution loop that guides every action it takes.
RedHub testing shows that most of these agents follow a pretty consistent 6-step loop. First, it has to interpret the goal you've given it. From there, it creates a plan and picks the right tool for the job. After it executes that action, it reflects on the outcome. Did that get me closer to the goal? And based on that reflection, it decides whether to continue the loop. This whole cycle just keeps repeating until the agent determines that its goal is, well, done.
Now, what really makes this loop so powerful is memory. And we're not talking about a chatbot's short-term context that forgets everything once the conversation ends. An agent often uses persistent memory. This means it can remember your preferences, what it did before, and what happened as a result, even across different sessions. It's this capability that makes complex, long-running tasks possible and transforms a bunch of separate interactions into one cohesive, ongoing system.
Okay, so it's really common for people to hear this and think, isn't that just automation? But a RedHub analysis highlights a really crucial difference in how these two things operate.
And here's the key distinction, laid out really clearly. Traditional automation is rigid, right? It follows a script. If X happens, then do Y. An agent, on the other hand, is flexible. It interprets the outcome of its actions and asks, okay, given this result, what should I do next? And that flexibility is what makes agents so much more powerful. But, as we'll see, it also makes them less predictable.
So this newfound autonomy and flexibility, well, they introduce entirely new kinds of risks. And these risks require a completely different way of thinking about security and management. Essentially, giving an AI the power to act comes with a whole new set of responsibilities.
And here's a crucial point from RedHub's analysis. The risk fundamentally shifts from what an AI says to what it can do. Think about it. With a typical chatbot, your main worry is content risk, right? Is it going to say something inaccurate or inappropriate? But with an agent, the concern becomes capability risk. It's all about the actions it's able to take with the tools you've given it.
This new capability risk shows up in a few key ways. For instance, a prompt injection isn't just a trick to get a weird response anymore. It can actually become a control channel to hijack the agent's tools. You also have agents getting stuck in expensive, continuous loops, or accumulating bad assumptions in their memory over time. And of course, there's the risk of them holding on to sensitive information for way too long.
And we have to talk about cost, because it's a huge factor. With a chatbot, usage is naturally limited by the human on the other end. You type, it responds. But agents, they don't get tired. They can just loop and retry and consume tokens, tool calls, and compute power over and over again, continuously. RedHub analysis shows that this kind of automatic, relentless execution is exactly how you end up with significant and often very unexpected costs.
So this all brings us to the bottom line. What is a framework like OpenClaw really for?
This quote from the RedHub research really sums it up perfectly. OpenClaw is best understood as delegation infrastructure. You're not just having a conversation with an AI here. You are literally delegating tasks to an autonomous system. It's the infrastructure that gives the language model the power to go out and act on your behalf. So, the most important thing to take away from all this is that the fundamental shift from a passive AI responder to an active AI executor, well, it changes everything. And according to RedHub research, this power to act means we absolutely must have foundational guardrails in place from the very beginning, for governance, for security, and for cost control.
If you'd like to learn more about these foundational requirements, or you want to dive into the more technical details, we encourage you to read the complete research on RedHub AI.